Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another Baddies Gone Wild DR review. So let's just get right into it because a lot happened in this episode. So Lauren and Marie get into this fight, and as security is breaking up the fight, Marie ends up blurting out in front of everybody that people in the house have been saying that Lauren's cat smells, and you can tell that Lauren was completely taken aback by this because number one, she says that she doesn't play about her hygiene, and number two, she doesn't understand how they would even know that because they literally just met her. And by the look on Leandra's face, she knew that she messed up even saying that to these girls because they immediately went back and told what she said. Now, Marie did not say that Leandra was the one that made this comment about Lauren, but it's gonna end up eventually coming out that she's the one that said it. And I feel like these girls set up Leandra to tell them who she was talking about, and that's why I feel like Leandra shouldn't have ever mentioned this in the first place. But Lauren and Marie end up fighting one last round, and to me, from the angle that I saw it at, it looked like a tie to me. But if you were to say that one of them won over the other, I wouldn't argue with you on it. I just feel like it was a tie from the way that I saw it. But during this fight, Leandra gets out of there pretty quickly, and it's because she doesn't want her name to be mentioned. And I feel like she shouldn't have made this comment about Lauren in the first place. I mean, how would she know if Lauren's cat smells? Was she down there? And I just don't like that Leandra said this about Lauren, because now everybody that gets into it with Lauren is probably going to end up using this against her in a fight, and I just don't feel like that's fair, especially because we don't even know if Leandra's telling the truth. But after this fight, Marie, Becky, and Naz all sit down and have a conversation about being called bullies. Obviously, they don't like being called bullies. They don't want that title tagged on them because we know what happens to people that get called bullies on a show. They get dragged all through social media for a very long time. I mean, girls who were on the Bad Girls Club 15 years ago still get dragged for being bullies on the show. So I don't think they want that smoke with some of the fans. But because of all the drama that's going on in the house and all of these misunderstandings and people being called bullies, they decided to put together a house meeting. Well, to be clear, Dava was the one that stepped up and decided to put together this house meeting, and I feel like the house meeting was necessary because of all the drama and fights that broke out in one episode. But before the house meeting, Leandra has this conversation with Baby Tyson. They're both laying down, and she tells Baby Tyson that she's nervous to have a conversation with Lauren to tell Lauren what she said about her. And Baby Tyson's confused because she doesn't know what the hell Leandra's talking about. But as they're having this conversation, Lauren ends up walking into the room, and Leandra tells her that she was the one who made the comment about her cat smelling on the bus to the other girls. And Lauren is confused because I think she liked Leandra. Like, I think she was actually cool with Leandra, so she doesn't understand why Leandra would be talking about her to the other girls like that. And then she was confused because she feels like, how would Leandra know if her cat smells? Like, she wasn't down there, so how would she know that? And Leandra tried to explain herself, saying that when they were sitting next to each other on the bus, she smelled something and automatically assumed that it was Lauren. And to me, I don't think that that was right of Leandra to do, because just because you smelled something doesn't mean that was Lauren, and it doesn't mean that it was her cat. So I don't understand why she would make that comment. I just felt like that was nasty and catty of Leandra to say. And it's sad that she made this nasty comment about Lauren, because I kind of like Leandra because she really does seem like a sweet girl, but what she did was messy and it was wrong. So Lauren hops up on the bed and she starts popping Leandra all up in her face, pulling her hair. I was like, damn. And Leandra wasn't even fighting back. Like, Baby Tyson was yelling at Leandra, telling her to swing, because, like, girl, why are you letting her whoop you like this and you're not fighting back? That's why I don't even understand why Leandra would make that comment about Lauren, because, girl, if you're not a fighter, you should probably be quiet. And the crazy thing about it is that Leandra had a smile on her face after the fight that she had with Lauren, and Lauren ends up taking her hand, swabbing it across her vagina, and she takes her hand and puts it to Leandra's face and makes her smell it. And Lauren ends up asking Leandra, okay, so does it smell? And Leandra says, no, it doesn't. And so I'm sorry, that whole situation was funny to me. Lauren is so funny. I'm sorry. I kind of like her, because it's like, girl, why would you do that? Why would you make that girl smell your hand like that? That was crazy. And then it's like, to top it all off, Lauren fought her with no panties on. I'm like, girl, what the hell are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, I think that's funny. I don't think that she smells. I don't know, because I don't know her, but I don't think that she would be walking around like that if she smelled. But once the fight was broken up between Leandra and Lauren, Lauren immediately starts confronting Baby Tyson, asking her if they're gonna dead the drama that they have with each other or if they're gonna keep fighting. And Baby Tyson said that the only reason why she fought her again when they got off the bus is because she was mad that Lauren put a knot on her forehead, but they shook hands and they agreed that they were gonna drop whatever issues that they have, but they both admitted that they still don't like each other. So I feel like the two of them are gonna end up fighting again at some point. So they end up going to the house meeting, and Leandra is the only one missing, and everybody's wondering where Leandra was. So Leandra walks in late and everybody starts questioning her, and that's when it comes out that her and Lauren ended up getting into a fight. And Leandra admits that the reason why they fought is because she was the one that said that Lauren's cat smelled, and that's the reason why Marie used it against her in the argument. And Lauren said that she doesn't have any plans of fighting Leandra again. She said that she just had to slap her real quick for disrespecting her, but she has no intentions on fighting Leandra again because it's no competition to her, and Leandra's clearly not a fighter. And I respect that about Lauren because she knows that Leandra can't fight, and she didn't even fight back, so what's the point of continuously putting your hands on her? And I agree with Milani that Leandra shouldn't have made the comment to begin with, because you can't say that you're not about the drama and you're not a fighter, but then you're making messy comments about people, because that was something that she could have kept to herself. Even if she felt like Lauren smelled a little bit, that's not something that she should have said to the other girls. But then they decide to change topics, and I'm glad, because I'm tired of hearing about this whole smelly cat situation. I felt like they spent way too much time on that in this episode, although it was pretty entertaining. They move on to the whole Marie, Mimi, Becky situation about them moving Mimi's name from the room. And Becky and Marie still feel some type of way about being called bullies, because they don't feel like they were bullying Mimi by moving her name out of the room because she still had a bed. And Mimi came to them and told them that she was okay with them moving her name because as long as she had a bed, she was okay. And I mean, she was okay with the fact that there was another bed for her to sleep in, but she wasn't okay with them moving her name and putting it to the living room. And I feel like that was messy of them to do that, because if they were going to move her name, they could have put it on Naz's door so that she would have never even known that she was supposed to sleep in the room with them to begin with. So to me, they were being messy troublemakers. They're trying to make it seem like the other girls put a battery in Mimi's back, and I don't really believe that they put a battery in her back, because she did go in there and tell them that she didn't like that they moved her name to the living room. That's what she had an issue with. So she was okay at the fact that she does have another bed to sleep in because she was going to sleep in Naz's room, but she did not like that they moved her name to the living room because that was disrespectful. I just feel like Becky and Marie don't want to be called bullies because they know what happens to bullies on TV. Lulu starts asking Mimi if she's gonna fight about it, and I just don't really like Lulu that much. I don't know too much about her because we haven't seen much of her this season, but every time we do see her, she's being messy or trying to instigate things a little bit, and so I don't know how to feel about her just yet. But Mimi told Lulu that she was not fighting because her nose hurts. She definitely got whooped in last week's episode, so I can understand why she didn't want to fight. But now it was seeming like some of the girls who were originally on Mimi's side and felt bad for her in that situation are feeling like Mimi was playing a game, because they feel like if she was okay with the fact that she had a bed, why let everybody get up in arms about the whole situation and start calling Marie and Becky bullies? I was kind of looking at Milani a little bit sideways during this scene though, because she started, involving herself in too much of other people's issues, and I understand that it's a house meeting, but the way she was doing it was kind of like an instigator, because Dava is addressing Naz because she feels like Naz was wrong for going along with Becky and Marie moving Mimi's name, so they start going back and forth with each other, but Dava makes sure that Naz knows that she's not going to fight her, she's not going to put her hands on her, and for some reason, Milani felt some type of way about that, and she started saying that Dava's picking and choosing, and if she's not going to put her hands on Naz, then she better not put her hands on her either, and I don't understand why Milani felt some type of way about that, because she's not even actively beefing with Dava, so why put yourself in that situation? Let them handle whatever issues that they have with each other. So then Marie and Becky start going back and forth with G-Baby because they felt some type of way about her going along with the bully narrative about them, and G-Baby says that she felt like they were bullying Mimi, and she stands by what she said, because she said that if she was in Mimi's shoes, she would have felt like she was being bullied, so she stood on the fact that she felt like they were bullying Mimi. So Becky ends up asking G-Baby if she needs that, and they jump up and they start fighting with each other, and I'm sorry, G-Baby lost all 3 rounds that they fought. I was actually surprised that she even wanted to fight 3 rounds with Becky, because Becky was catching her all in her face. I'm not going to say that G-Baby didn't fight back, but she definitely lost. But I didn't really feel like it was necessary for G-Baby and Becky to fight about this situation, because a lot of the other girls were saying that Marie and Becky were bullies too, so why did Becky go after G-Baby out of all the people? Milani was being called out for being an instigator in this episode, but I felt like Lulu is an instigator that falls by the wayside a little bit, because people don't really pay attention to her, but I noticed her throughout this episode starting trouble a little bit, because after Becky and G-Baby got into a fight, she started blaming Mimi for that fight, and I don't understand how Mimi's at fault for the two of them deciding to fight. I mean, Mimi didn't go around telling everybody to think that Marie and Becky were bullies. They felt that way on their own. But this part of the episode I didn't really like, because I felt like they were trying to force people to fight at this point, because Dava ends up calling out Mimi and telling her that she needs to stand on business because she said that she was going to. And some of the other girls start telling Mimi to fight Naz, so Naz gets up and the two of them start fighting with each other, and obviously Mimi won that fight. Naz was definitely fighting back the second round, but the first round she didn't really get to fight back, and Mimi definitely caught her in the face. But the second round, Naz was fighting back, but she still lost. But I felt like this fight was so forced. Like, why are the two of them fighting fighting? I mean, Nas is not the one who moved Mimi's name from the door, so why are they fighting with each other? That was definitely instigated by the other girls. But then Milani started being really messy because she tries to get another fight stirred up between Lauren and Leandra, and I like that Lauren stood up and said that she was not fighting Leandra again because she already fought her, and Leandra's not even in her weight class. And on top of that, Leandra didn't even fight her back when she slapped her the first time. So I'm glad that Lauren checked Milani, because Milani was definitely being messy during this house meeting, getting involved in everybody's business and trying to instigate fights. I just wish that somebody would have called out Lulu too. Lauren calls out Milani for trying to put a battery in her back to get her to fight Leandra again, and they start getting into a back and forth, and Lauren ends up calling Milani a bitch, and the two of them get to fighting with each other. And obviously Lauren won that fight. I mean, Milani was trying to fight back, but she definitely lost. Lauren took her all the way through there, and so that fight was broken up. Milani felt some type of way because her wig got ripped, and she said that it was expensive, but it's like, girl, is she even an active watcher of Baddies? Because like, anytime you have an expensive wig, it might get ripped up, so why would you even come on the show with an expensive wig? I mean, we saw what happened with the whole Lex situation where she had to fight a bunch of people over her wig. We saw Summer's wig get thrown over the balcony. We saw somebody's wig get thrown in the fire. It's like, girl, why would you come on the show with an expensive wig? You should have learned your lesson by now. And then Lauren starts saying that she's not going to fight Leandra again because she's not in the same weight class, and Milani starts saying that she's small too, so she doesn't understand why Lauren wants to fight her. But I don't really see Milani as that smaller than Lauren. I mean, she weighs a lot more than Lauren from what I'm able to see, because she looks a lot thicker than Lauren. Like, she seems like she has way more weight on her than Lauren, so to make it seem like she's too small for Lauren to be fighting is crazy. But all the girls end up getting ready and they go to the club, and Mimi ends up staying home because she said that one of her family members is in the hospital and they might not make it, so she just didn't feel like celebrating, and I felt like that was understandable for her to want to stay home because of that. But the girls are on two different sprinters, okay? Leandra is sitting in the back of the sprinter, and then you have Milani and Baby Tyson sitting in the front of the sprinter, and they're having a whole conversation about Leandra, not realizing that she's in the back of the sprinter and she can hear everything that they're saying about her. So Marie tells them, okay, Leandra's on the bus, so if you have something to say, she's right there. And Milani wasn't making any sense to me because she felt some type of way about the fact that Leandra went and told Lauren herself what she said about her behind her back, and she felt like the only reason why Leandra did that is so that nobody else can tell on her first. And I was like, duh, of course that's the reason why she told Lauren, and either way she got popped, so it didn't make a difference whether somebody else told her or she told her herself. So I really don't understand why Milani felt some type of way about that. But then Baby Tyson and Alana end up getting into it because Becky starts saying that whoever didn't come to the club should have to go home, and Baby Tyson ends up asking her why she keeps targeting Mimi for, and that's when Alana jumps in and she wants to know why Baby Tyson is defending Mimi. So they start going back and forth with each other, and Alana starts telling Baby Tyson that she can beat her up, but she won't send her home. So Baby Tyson tells her, beat me up then, and so they start going back and forth with each other. Baby Tyson stands up a little bit. They start going back and forth. Alana says that Baby Tyson smells like hot dog water, and Baby Tyson just reaches over Milani because Milani's between them trying to keep them from fighting. Baby Tyson leaps over Milani and she starts popping Alana all in her head, and honestly I'm glad that Baby Tyson did that because I'm not really feeling Alana these past two episodes. So they get to the club and everybody's having a good time partying with Natalie, except Baby Tyson and Alana. They're staring each other down from across the club because they know that at some point they're gonna fight again. But for some reason Dava ends up asking the DJ to play her song, and everybody sits down in the club when her song starts playing. So I guess the song sucked because one of the girls even pointed out that even Natalie sat down when Dava's song was playing. And then they were so messy. Zeus is so messy. They showed the whole club while the song was playing and nobody was dancing. It looked like nobody was enjoying themselves. I'm like, damn, that's pretty embarrassing. But I do respect the fact that Dava is trying to get her music out there and she's trying to take advantage of the opportunity. But those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Baddies Gone Wild. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.